It's spinning and spinning. Oh, there we go. Now it shows up live. So, good morning, everybody. It is Jamie and my friend Amy with our matching coffee mugs. I think mine's taller. Did you get
It
the
is. I
smaller
got the
mug?
small. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Well, we are here this morning realizing that it's Friday and maybe both of us have had like a long week because we feel like it's kind of earlier than like we normally get on and do our coffee chats. I don't know. So I did wake up a little bit later this morning, so maybe I'm just not fully awake yet. I don't know. It just
Well,
kind of felt like that.
I feel like I'm not really fully awake yet either, Jamie. And I was a little nervous last night because it was just one of those nights. You know, some nights when you go to bed and your head's just like spinning and you're thinking
Oh,
about so
yeah.
many things, and it's like, okay, I got to go to sleep. And the more I kept thinking about it, I got to go to sleep, the longer I was awake. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, I have my coffee chat in the morning. I don't want to be late, but I did get up on the correct time and, did my meditation. I haven't done my walk yet, but anyway, I'm happy to be here with you, my friend, drinking
Yes.
coffee, waking up.
And this is my first cup of coffee too. So maybe that's what it is. So we see some people popping on. I see Tammy, and I think she meant hi guys, but it came out Giysy. So
I like that.
yeah. I thought at first it said like gypsy. That's how awake I am. I see Nilda popping on and she said I can't believe it's the 30th of June. I
No
was kind of
kidding.
thinking about that too. Like
Right.
tomorrow's July. Yeah. So, hey there, Jamie. I was just telling Amy that right before we got on, I got a message from Jamie. So I kind of skimmed over it, Jamie, but I will come back and read that. Oh, Tammy, that's fine. She goes, oops. And she got the little smiley face. Oh, there's Connie showing up. So I know who these people are because they're coming on as their business name, but it's because you have to like flip over. So if they were just in their business page and they didn't remember to like flip back over, that's why it's showing up. So yeah, that's why I'm calling the Yellow Rose Connie, and because I know who they
Yeah.
are. So
I'm
Marriott's
glad
popping
you
on
know
here
that.
too. Yeah. So Amy, I do kind of notice the sound being better.
Yay!
Yes. So Amy and I have been doing these coffee chats for, I don't even know, did we start them in January?
I think so. I think so.
I think that sounds about right. And for whatever reason, whenever Amy and I would start to kind of talk together, or if she's finishing and I start to, just like in normal conversation, not trying to talk over each other, I would hear this horrible sound that sounded to me like a barking, growling dog or something. I couldn't even, it was just feedback, I guess. And a few people, I think, in the comments had said that they had heard it too. And so Amy was telling me before we started chatting that she was on a call with StreamYard and a friend and trying to, and I barely heard it, but not anything like I've had in the past. So
Okay.
yeah.
Fingers crossed, everyone. And hopefully no one hears the barking dog
Yeah.
today.
I thought that a few people told me that they had. So, well, we are talking today, kind of continuing the last one.
Diana, I'm sorry for
I know she just said
commenting.
that was me growling in the morning. Oh my goodness.
I'm
Oh,
sorry to interrupt, Jamie, but Diana just cracked me
I
up.
know. I have not met Diana in person yet, so I say yet because I it'll happen sometime. I don't know exactly when. I'm in Ohio. She's in I think like Upper New York. Um, so yeah, that I think that it would be a lot of fun to meet her in person because she's always got like some funny comments and things. So yeah. Um, so we're kind of continuing the last coffee chat that we had where we talked about I don't remember top tips
It
for
was getting people to show up for Alive.
I thought that's what today was. What was I thought the last one was about top tips that you talked to. See, I am not thinking clear yet. I,
I think, yeah, please let us know, everyone. But I'm pretty sure it was top tips to get people to show up for a live. Didn't we talk about that? Didn't we talk about
Now I've got to go see
I have
because
to drink some more
I thought that that's what
coffee.
we were talking about today. So, because I remember it was a continuation of kind of what we talked about last time.
Yeah, let me try and
I-
find it.
oh my goodness. Sometimes it moves like really slow. Diana said it was peeps to show up. Is that today or last time that we talked though?
Let me see. The one that we did before was top tips for going live.
Oh, okay. And like things that you could talk about on a live video. I
Yeah,
think that that's right. Like topics. And today we're talking about like how do you actually get people to show. And we kind of touched on it a little bit, I guess, last time. I've done a lot of videos in the past 2 weeks, and that's probably why I don't remember exactly what it was. So, yes, we taught top tips for going live. So,
yeah,
just about like how you set up your camera, how, and just what you
yeah,
do to kind of prepare. And okay, so
yeah.
we're on the same page now. So yeah, Nilda says today is about how to have people show up live. So right now, I know that Amy, you can't see this, but right now we have 10 people showing up live. And
Yay.
so that's what we're talking about today. So we might as well use like real world examples.
Yeah,
So typically when you go live, it's a percentage. It is about numbers in a way, at least partly. So usually you can expect about 1 to 2% of the people who follow you to show up live. And that's kind of with anything, right? So I have today, it's the 30th, and by tomorrow I'm hoping to have 5,000 followers. Today I have 4,990. So
yay, Jamie. You go, girl.
So what's 1%? Because I'm not good at percentages. What's 1% of 5,000? Is that
You giving me
50?
math to do.
5? I don't. But I'm just saying that it's a percentage of people that you can kind of. Okay, Diana says 50. Thank you. So right now, I don't even have the average of 1% showing up live. And thank you. Jennifer says 50. Thank you for doing math for me this early in the morning.
Yeah,
So
thanks, ladies,
I
because
see
I was gonna get out.
Adrian.
I was gonna get out Chat GPT to do a math problem because I haven't had enough coffee yet.
So,
But these
so
ladies are on the ball.
they are. Connie made it easy for us so I don't have to remember her name when I look at her business name. And she came back in as her personal profile. So, and she says I can't do math whether I had coffee or not. I don't have a math gene. I have like a creative problem solving gene. I do have that, but yeah, math. Anyway, so I just say all of that to say there is a certain percentage of people that you can, estimate that would show up to your live as an average. I don't even have the average, right, of 12. So if you think about the number of followers that you have, I would just love to hear like 1% of the number of followers that you have right now. Tell me how many people that would be live showing up. Because I think sometimes we have unrealistic expectations that we should have 100 people showing up live when we only have 120 people following us, or whatever the number is. So
Yeah.
I would like to hear what that number is. So just 1% of whatever your number of followers is. Because I do certain things to get people to show up live, and that's what we'll talk about. But Amy, do you kind of feel like that's true? Like, do you have that 1% of people showing up live?
Yes. It depends. Like if I just do like
Yeah.
an on the fly impromptu, then not so much. But if I
Mhm.
have it planned out, like, then I have a little more show up. It is kind of tough in this platform that we're streaming in, well, on Facebook anyway, because it's not as easy as like back in 2016 when they first started doing lives. Um, But yes, it still is possible. But I feel you, Jamie, that it's not a massive percentage.
Yeah. I oh, I heard a little bit of the echo. You said something, gosh, I'm having a hard time like following. I don't know why today. I must not have slept well or something. So Connie says that she has 2.53 people show up. But I think that's important to know what that percentage is and have a realistic expectation of how many people based on your followers, not just an arbitrary number of people that would show up. So I just kind of wanted to say that to start off with, that it is going to be different depending on your number of followers, how many people you have, showing up. I have it was up to 14 for a second there. I will say back in 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic, I did have a lot more people watching then because we were home.
Yeah.
So it does kind of depend on that. But the different ways to get people to show up, that's what we want to talk about today. And I would love to know in the comments, what are some of the ideas or questions that you have for us about how we have kind of built that up and what different kinds of, I guess, strategies, you call them strategies, what kind of different strategies we use to have people show up to our live videos. So any questions that you have in the comments there, and I'll put up we didn't ask if you're having coffee or tea today, because we said that both of us are having coffee this morning. Yeah. We're like 15 minutes in. We haven't even asked if people are having coffee. It is definitely a day. So I think it's hard sometimes. I traveled last week. Now, where did my comments go? I traveled last week, and I think just kind of coming back from traveling, sometimes that's hard. Diana, you're just going to get us so sidetracked. Let's see. So I was going to put up this little banner that says, are we having coffee or tea? Or what questions? Adrian said she already had coffee and on an ice cream tea, and she's like all coffeeed up and caffeinated and everything. So, hey there, Terry. So I see her, they go by. Oh, Nilda's about to have her second. So, good. So people are commenting. Yes, I was just going to pull after people had. Do you ever include the replay numbers? I'm not sure what she means by replay numbers. Do you know what she's...
So like how many people watch the replay?
I mean, I don't know how to track that exactly, other than if they comment on there.
Right. Right.
Is she asking, do I count that number in for the people who show up live? No. Is that... Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not understanding the question.
Yes, it would be no. It would be no. But Madeline is one of my creative warriors, and we talk a lot because I, teach them how to do their art shows online and things like that. Mm-hmm. So for instance, I've done numerous art shows in the past. Obviously, that's what I teach. And I used to have really good luck on people claiming paintings as I'm showing them on live. I'd people show up, I'd talk to them, and we'd chat, would have coffee or wine like this. And but on the replay or the recording, like I like to use, sometimes you still make sales. So it really depends on what your live is, all about. Yes. But for selling art, that's a really awesome thing to make sure that you keep your recording on so that people can still watch it after. But I agree with you, Jamie, because we're talking about live viewers. So the answer would be no for the live.
Yeah. Right. That I don't calculate that into, the number of people. So to kind of start talking about like some of the different ways, I see some different people commenting in there about email and when, and you kind of mentioned like what you're talking about. And I think that a lot of those are the ways that you continue to get people, to show up to your live video. I think one of the ways that I've had the most success in having that happen is I have a consistent time and day that I go live. And that helps me to set up a routine, a schedule for me, and it allows my viewers to know when to expect me to be on live. And I've had higher numbers quicker when I've had that set time because they know when to expect
Jamie,
me
when
to
is
show
your
up.
time? It's on Monday, right?
So Mondays at 10:30 in the morning, which I'm sure that somebody's probably going to ask what's the best time to get people to show up live. And I think that having a consistent time, not a certain time, gives me more success in getting people to show up. The probability of people being there because they're online at 6 p.m. or, whatever time you kind of figure out that your audience is mainly online, I think going consistent at a consistent time trumps that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I'm kind of lacking on with my own business page, to be honest.
Well,
Like,
yeah, and I think there are certain seasons where it is harder.
yeah,
A lot of times Monday's a holiday and I
yeah.
won't go live on those days.
But I
But
have
sometimes,
used,
yeah,
yeah,
sometimes I've gone live on a holiday and there's been more people.
yeah,
So,
but I have used that strategy, for all this time that I've been going live. I've used that strategy in the past. And I think you're 100% correct there. Connie agrees as well that if you do have a specific day and better a specific day and time, yeah, you're going to have more show up. Um, I mean, I'm consistent, obviously, with my membership, but as far as a consistent time for my business page, I think I personally should revisit that again. But it does kind of go like with the ebb and flow of how we all live our lives, right? It
yeah.
is going into summertime now, and we have a very short window up here in New England where I live. So usually summertime people are busy, they're doing family things, and so we got to kind of keep that in mind as well. But I do believe that being consistent, um, even with the ebbs and flows, you're still going to have people come and show up if you are consistent.
Yeah.
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 I think that it's made a big difference. Now, I do think that there is some to a certain time of day where you might get more viewers and just the probability of that being higher. But you still have to keep in mind your number of viewers. I think it was Adrienne was talking about that she did 100 days, which that is a commitment right there. And she still only had a few show up live. I think that ties into another thing that we actually just talked about in my course this week, which is community and building community. So, yes, going live, it will be based on the number of followers. So, you always have to be building that number of followers if you want, more people to show up live. So, I think that, those kind of go together too, is just always kind of adding to the people that could potentially show up live and and be there. So
Absolutely.
Oh, Sherry's getting off onto a whole nother subject here about what content to share. Would it be a good idea to do a Christmas in July focus painting, different Christmases on each day on a different surface? So yeah, we could definitely talk a little bit about that, because I think subject matter of your live and how you build up, like when they do like movie previews and like you build up the anticipation, I guess is the right word.
Mm-hmm.
I think that does make a big difference. When I've had more people show up, it's because even with us doing the coffee chats, what was the one that we had the most people show up live was about Facebook or about memberships, wasn't it? Was that so I think the topic, sometimes your subject matter, what it is that you're doing, and your runway of time that you build that up and give previews of that, that can make a big difference to create curiosity to get people to show up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah. So Christmas in July, Teresa here said, and she said she was only able to stay a little bit, is definitely is a hot topic in July. So I think that there could be a lot of success if you kind of do all the things that we're going to talk about to give you that most. Just doing a Christmas in July theme, no. I don't think that that's by itself going to be how you get the most people to show up to watch and be able to, have the most viewers. So, yeah. I think
Actually, that's one of my chapter challenges coming up for this month in my membership is the Christmas in July idea for marketing. Because like I was saying, the ebbs and flows of life and, what season we're going into and things like that. That does play a little bit of a part for coming up with ideas anyway on what to do on a live. I mean, I have a few things up my sleeve that I do to get people to show up. So anyway, I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, we can definitely just kind of brainstorm all of those different ways. And the topics, I have a whole, and where Sherry had mentioned about different surfaces. And so I definitely have a little bit on that. And I see a lot of, you guys have obviously had your coffee more than we have, because I see a lot of comments and things, and I can't keep up with all of it. But we will definitely come back after the video. And I have a Zoom after this, so I won't be able to check in until a little bit later. And then I'm getting my nails done today, so that's my little treat today. I think I'm gonna get there.
Your nails look beautiful. What do you? Oh, you just get a fill or something?
Yeah, I'm just getting the fill in. It's been 3 weeks. I don't know if any of you get your nails done, but that's about how long I've started doing them consistently. So I'm either gonna get red sparkle or blue sparkle. So if you want to chime in, and I'll come back and look, either red or blue. What do you think? So
okay,
I like
if you
sparkle.
Want to vote, I'm going to say red. I think that'll look great with your tan,
Oh, I never thought about it like that. I got to get nails according to how tan I am. Okay, so let me go ahead and give Connie, I thought about doing the red and the blue. I might decide to do, last time I tried to do a design, it just didn't, it was, I don't know. It wasn't where I'd rather just get like the solid color. So just to kind of give some different ways that I've used, and not consistently all the time, but I do know one of the biggest ways, and we just talked about this last night on my Zoom, to get people to show up is a text message. And I started using the text message a couple of years ago, and that is probably one of the biggest ways. So tell me if you are more likely in the comments there to show up to a live if the person who's going live sends you a text message. I know that I am. Yeah. So if I get a text, even if I don't have my sound on, or, if I open up my phone, I see that notification for the text before I see anything else. It's right in the center of my page. It's right there. Yeah.
We're busy. We're doing stuff. We're working, or we're painting, or we have. So yeah, when I I'm following someone, I want to make, and I get a text message. It's like, thank you for reminding me. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I include the link to my business page, not straight to, and I know we've talked about that, not straight to the live video. So, because that presents another, I guess, tech, you have to be better with the tech than I probably am to be able to do that. But I just include the link to my page, not straight to the video. Now, if you had a team, if you had somebody that was helping you, they could go on and they could send that text message with the direct link to the video. That, I would say, is probably the number one way that I get people consistently to show up, is if I send a text message. Even if, like you said, it's it's off the fly, just you didn't plan it.
Yeah.
So if I am going live on a random Thursday, whatever, if I send out the text message, I will still have people show up even though they weren't expecting me. and that's not my consistent time.
Yeah.
So text message. And if you want to reach out to me, I can tell you what it is that I use. There are a lot of different ones. Some are free, some are paid. But if that's your goal, is to try to get more people to show up to see what it is that you're doing, that could be a good investment if you wanted to pay for a service that would be able to do that for you. And there are a lot of different ones. So yeah, I'd say text message is probably the number one way that I get people to show up. And I see a lot of people talking about that the text message is good for them too. And then would you say email is another way?
I would say that is a close second for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just checked my stats on my emails yesterday. Was it the day before? I don't know. I guess I still haven't had enough coffee, but recently. And I noticed that the percentage of my best campaign recently, literally, listen up, everyone. It was so simple. It was so simple.
Right.
All I did was, we don't have to sit there and like think of everything or like figure stuff out in Chat GPT and then fix it. And we can, yes, but this one was, hey, I'm going live right now. And I put the link to my business page, like we were just talking about. That's all I said. And that was my biggest, my percentage for opening email for the past couple weeks. So yay. So I would say definitely email is a close second. And I saw someone in here saying that, okay, it was Sherry, don't worry about if you don't have the text message service yet, because Jamie and I did them when we first started.
Yeah.
I mean, I started literally just with the email. So, that's how we all start off. So if you have the email, that's great. That's a great second. I do agree with Jamie that text number one, email number two. And if you have both, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, because we think that people are going to be overwhelmed if we send the text and the email, but not everybody's going to see both of those. So they aren't going to feel overwhelmed because they're only checking their messages and not their email so I usually try to maximize how I get people to show up by doing all of the things if I can. I would say if you don't have an email service, if you don't have a text messaging, what I started doing when I was first doing live videos, because I did not have either one of those, and it was still very successful and I had more people, showing up, was to do that curiosity and to, hey, I'm going to go live and I'm going to be, and give them like a little sneak peek, or, even do a short live video and say, hey, this is what I'm going to be showing on my live video. And, and just that curiosity really will get people to show up because they are curious and they want to, you start dropping these little hints about what it is that you're doing, and making a post about it, having even this video that we're doing. I created the event 4 days ago. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday. So it was a couple of days beforehand. And even that build up time gave us more people that responded to the event than, and I'll add that to, if you create an event for your live, a lot of times that will allow more people to see what it is that you're doing, because you can share that event. You can put that event into groups. Let me know if you saw this event inside of the CBOB group, inside of the Creative Business Owner Basics, because that's where I share these videos a lot of times, and they're more likely to be seen inside of a group like that. So if you create an event ahead of time, and get creative with those too, because I've created an event when I've opened a membership. I've created an event when I have my course starting. You can get pretty creative with, what it is that you're creating that event for, and doing a live video is, even though it's not an event, it's still a way to be able to share it and have people directed to the, to the event itself. So,
yeah. That was going to be my next tip. And what you said about the events, because just like this one, just like all of our coffee chats, I've done the same thing when I did Build a Buzz for your art
Right.
business, and things like that. I would make events for it, and making events like that on your business page and building it up, you can actually get new followers that way too. I mean,
Oh
I know
yeah.
we're not on that subject, but it does help to get more live views, because using keywords and things like that, making an event on your business page is going to be public, and then it, like you're saying, Jamie, it kind of builds it up. They know, hey, this is coming in a couple of weeks or whenever. You just made the event like 3 or 4 days ago, which is fine, because people will remember that. But sometimes if I can have a longer runway, I will.
Right.
But we don't want a runway that's like way too long, because then people are going to forget. But I think a good runway is like a couple of weeks to 4 or 5 days. So that's my 2 cents anyway.
Yeah. I I think for a live video, it can be a shorter time period. If you're talking about a physical event, yeah, then give yourself a longer runway. So, one of the other things that I was thinking that I've had success with is doing a series. And that builds up, you know, repeat viewers, which Facebook definitely likes people that continue to come back, and they track a lot of those metrics inside of your insights, and how long they view and things like that. So if you do a series, say, of 3 videos, and this kind of goes back to what Sherry had talked about in her question there, but doing some kind of a series like that helps to have people to come back. It creates the curiosity, the anticipation. It's almost like a story. They kind of want to be part of that continuing thing. So I had planned out. I'm more of a spur of the moment live video person, like you were talking about, but every once in a while I will plan ahead. So last summer, I think it was during the month of July, I planned the theme of flamingos. So on the first Monday of the month, I did flamingos on a canvas. And then the second week, I did flamingos on mixed media. And then the third week, I did watercolor, and I kind of did like a different thing. And the tracer that I provided, which was an awesome way to get emails that way, it it allowed me to use the same tracer but different mediums, different techniques, different, and they were using the same one each week, but then I was teaching them different ways to use it.
What a
That
great
was
idea,
probably
Jamie.
Yeah, that was probably one of my most effective live series
Yeah,
that I did.
I
In
definitely
addition
agree on the
to
series.
Yeah. Yeah, they work really well if I plan them ahead.
Yeah.
The other one that I did when I was doing more live videos, more often, was a flower series, and I showed how to draw flowers. And I still have people. I think that was almost 3 years ago that I did that series, and I still have people comment about, "Oh yeah, I learned how to draw flowers from those videos that Jamie did."
Yeah,
So,
that's amazing. I recently, well, not that recent, probably like a few months ago, I did how to draw a face.
mhm.
Can't remember if we used charcoal or graphite. Maybe it was graphite. But anyway, I actually did this spur of the moment, right? I was talking about being impromptu, the first video. And it was basically teaching how to draw a face with um, things that we can already recognize. Like I show you easy way to do that. Like for the eyes, we do actually like a figure 8, but like this way.
Yep.
And then because I had so many people hop on for that impromptu, I made it into a series. So I said,
Yeah.
okay, tomorrow at the same time, now we're going to start putting more features on. Like we kind of did like the shape of the face and like kind of where the eyes would be, something like that. And then, the next video was like adding more features. And then we did another video. Maybe it was even 4. I don't know, but it was very cool how it started off. because I noticed that I had quite a few viewers and they were like asking questions. So I'm like, oh, let's put this into a little mini series. Now for my own art, for like my fine arts painting, I did this a lot for years with my collector base. I would, and somebody had mentioned in here, maybe it was Connie, I think it was Connie, um, where she said like a
Like a
series of
series.
painting. Yes, I did that numerous times. I would start a painting and I wasn't teaching it. I was showing myself painting it to my collector base because they're not artists. They just love the artwork, right? So, I would talk intermittently when I can, but when it's hard to paint and talk, anybody feel that, especially when you're really in the zone and creating fine art. It's like, okay, we need to think. But I would put like a little sign on my easel, like, I'll check comments once in a while, in my zone. But I would do that for so many days in a row, so that they could see the production and how it just happened that I created this landscape piece or whatever. And they loved it. They were like, I had so many comments. I think my top comments for something like that was like, it's like magic. People that are not artistic like us, right? And there's like, that is like magical. It's like magic. I got so many magic comments. But
That's
yes, so you can do it either way. Just sit there and draw and paint, or a lot of you do teach. So do a teaching series. It could be 3 days or 4 days, or however long you want.
Yeah, so that's different than the series that I was talking about, using the same subject, but having that progression of, yeah, which is still a series, and it invites people to come back because they're curious about what it looks like as they finish. So,
Absolutely.
do you do anything after the live video to get people to come back? Because I know that you said that somebody had mentioned about the replays.
Yes. So I do send out email campaigns, um, with the link to the video. So I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, if you missed this past week's whatever it was, you can watch the recording right here, and I'll put it in a button. Or I'll do a screenshot of the video sometimes, and then I'll just link it right to that. They can touch it and go right there.
Yeah.
So I like to do that. And then also, I make sure that I edit my video. If it's on my business page, we have that option. Then we can add in the tags. And we can sometimes I don't know if they're still giving us the split test for no, actually, I don't think they are. At least on mine, they're not. But they did give like a split test for like the title. And I used to use that because then it would show, okay, which one are people connecting with. But I do that. I go to edit it and fix the title if I need to, and then make sure I add those tags in. So definitely send out an email with the link, and then edit the video, and you can even. I've even done this too, especially with my collector base. Like when I'm selling a piece, right? I'm working on something that I know I'm going to have available, and I pretty much know my collectors after so many years. So I kind of know like, oh, who would like this piece? I would even grab the link and send it in a private message to my collectors who have purchased numerous pieces. Like, oh, I know she's gonna like this. So let me send this to Beth, or let me send this to, you know, whoever, Kathy. So yeah, you can send it in a link. You can send the link in in an email. What was the other one I said? I guess I have to have another drink of coffee. But yeah, I kind of do a little bit of answering the comments. So if you don't have time, like if you're
Yes.
painting and you have a comment or whatever, go back, because first off, it makes your people feel special, and these are real people watching you. So you want to respond, right? You want to know that you're helping, you're inspiring, you're whatever it is. So try not to just leave a comment. If you didn't answer it in the video, go back and like it, talk to them, thank them for watching, things like that. And they're going to be more apt to come back and engage with you again. So yeah, those are kind of the things that I do after a video. What about you, Jamie?
Yeah, I saw where Marion had commented earlier about because I come back and I make comments and I, will notice the people that are, because that's what it is. When you're coming back to comment back to them and have a conversation, you notice them, and everybody wants to be noticed. And, so yes, I definitely come back and make those comments, and I will share the link to the video if I feel like, it's easier for me to go grab it than to say, hey, just go to my page. And so that's kind of like a plus one is how I've heard people refer to it. Like you're doing that extra step, to provide service to people, to provide value to people by going and getting the link yourself instead of just saying. It's kind of like we have a little thing at our church where we're not supposed to point about where to go. We're supposed to take them to, if they're asking where the restroom is, or we're supposed to walk with them, because
that's top service right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Macy's, service, or I've kind of heard it said that way too. So I definitely do things like that. And she was saying that that's made a big difference in just feeling like you're being noticed and you're not just another number, and I definitely have started being consistent about sending out the email with the replay. And a lot of people have said it's just short email. Here's the replay in case you missed it. And a lot of people like that because they know the next day if they missed it or forgot or what, they've got the replay right in their email to just click on it to be able to go to it. And it keeps it so that they're not distracted by the other things on Facebook, because it's just like going straight to that video. And, this is one of the other things that I was thinking, because I don't want anybody to think when I was talking about you should have 1% of people that follow you show up to your live video. I didn't say that in any way to make you feel bad if you're not getting that, because obviously I pointed out I'm not getting the 1% of my followers to show up live. It was only to be realistic about, yes, you may want 100 people to watch your video, but if you don't have the followers it is a numbers thing.
Yeah.
Because you can definitely come and send out that video to get people to watch the replay, and you don't have to have big numbers to have big impact. Somebody should write that down in the comments. You don't have to have a big following. You don't have to have big numbers. You don't have to have that to have a big, and I like to call it an impact. The income to me is a byproduct of what I'm doing to offer my gifts, my services, my talent, whatever to the world, right? The income is like, to me, the byproduct. Yes, I'm a business. I want to earn the income, but to me, it's about having the impact with the people that I'm serving. So you can have a big impact with a small amount of people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I don't want anybody to take anything that we're talking about, numbers and having more people show up. You can still have a very big impact. Have you ever heard the story about the little boy and the grandpa like walking on the beach, and there's all these starfish that are washed up? Do you know that story?
I think I have, but I cannot remember the whole thing.
It's kind of what I always think about, because it's not about the numbers. I think the grandpa probably is, and he's picking up the starfish and he's throwing them back into the water. And the kid's like, Grandpa, how are you ever going to save all of these starfish? There's so many of them. How is that ever going to make a difference for you to, try to say, you'll never save all of them? He's like, well, and he throws one in, I saved that one. So I always think about that. Even if it's just one person, treat that person like, I saw somebody say that when they say your name, it's you feel like a rock star. You feel like noticed. You feel important.
That was Connie. I was going to comment on that too, because that's a great comment, Connie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I even like that. Like Jamie,
Yeah.
when I watch your videos, you're like, hey there, Amy. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
hi,
She
Jamie.
noticed
Even though,
me.
you know.
Yeah. So you never know, just by you showing up and smiling and just having some kind of positive thing that you say that day, or just having bright colors, on the camera, you never know that one person, how it could impact them in a positive way. So don't ever feel like because you don't have that many people, you don't like don't think of it that way. Think about how can I, because all you can control is you, right? How can I show up today in the best way that I can to offer some kind of value to someone that would make a difference to that one person? So don't get too caught up in the numbers. We just wanted to give you strategies, ideas of ways to increase that number, because then you have more impact because you have more people showing up. So we talked about email, text, series.
I've got the whole list right here. We just went through 10.
Oh,
Yep, we went through
okay.
10 during this video.
Well, you're good
Oh,
because I didn't write that. What was it?
so number
Series.
1 was the percentage. Number 2 was consistency, day and time.
Oh,
Three,
gotcha. Okay.
three, building community. 4, text message. 5, email. 6, building up curiosity. 7, create an event. 8, do a series. 9, uh, replay, email, sending a PM with the link, in editing the video. So it's like stuff to do after the video. In 10, which is what you just talked about, and I also agree with, is don't get caught up with the numbers, right?
Yeah.
It's about the impact.
So I have two more that I just thought about. One of my highest viewed videos, one that I had the most comments, and this was after the pandemic had kind of, so I had, more people showing up and everything, is I did create an event, and I created an event that was a celebration. And I was celebrating my first year of being in business on Facebook. And I made it into an event where it was a celebration, and I was celebrating those followers. It wasn't about that it was my 1 year anniversary of my business. It was about, I wanted to recognize those followers because they were the ones that helped me to stay in business for a year, right? So anytime you can do a celebration, people love a celebration. And
Jamie, do you even go the extra mile? Because I do, with the little
yes,
tiara or little
yes.
party hat, and I have
Yep.
this little magic wand with the curly
Yep.
ribbon
I
on
have
it.
one of those noise makers, except it doesn't make any noise anymore. And I think I keep it like right back here, just, for
Yeah.
occasions. There's probably been people that have seen me. Sometimes I'll kick off an event or, different things, and I'll have that. Oh, yeah. I've worn the headbands with the reindeer ears and, any kind of celebration to make it fun. And people love to show up. I love to show up for that when it's, and you have to kind of do it within your own personality. You can't, but you can do fun little things like that. You can go to the Dollar Tree and get those little headbands that are fun, or the noise makers, or the, you know, glitter, or the confetti popper things, or, just making it fun. But I had more comments and more just reactions, more people watching, all of that, because it was a celebration. But the other thing that I did was I had prizes. So if you can have, and you have to kind of be a little careful depending on if it's a giveaway or prizes, or, and you can go Google that and figure out what the terms are if you're doing something on Facebook of a giveaway idea. There are certain things that you have to have in place. But I just send out like simple happy mail, and it sometimes is stickers. I sent out happy mail that were like these little packs of pretty papers that I had, handmade papers. I mean, it doesn't have to, but everybody, and they're handwritten, on there. So everybody loves to get like happy mail that has their name written on there because we're so digital now. To have something, that's happy mail
Yeah.
like that is just a nice little
Right.
break. And it doesn't have to be anything. I spend one stamp to send
Yeah.
that.
There's so
So
many things you
yeah,
can send out with one stamp. I know
yeah,
you're
as
good
long
at that, Jamie. My sister is too. She runs a group where um people send each other basically happy meal fun stuff, and they do a lot of celebrations as well. And so my sister's always putting ideas in the group or sending them to me, and it's like, yeah, you can get pretty creative with one stamp. Geez, and I remember, snail mail back in the day. I know some of you are gonna go, I know, I was there too. I couldn't wait when I was in school, when I was,
mhm.
really, this is like many, many moons ago. But I couldn't wait to get off the bus because I'd run to that mailbox. I wanted to see, oh, did I get any mail from my cousin today? Did my grandma send me a happy birthday card or whatever? So yeah, it just brings back for me when I get Happy Meal, it's like, oh my goodness, this is just like gold. Even if it's just a, like you're
Yeah,
saying, a little card with their name, maybe you drew a little flower or something. It's like, how sweet is that?
yeah. I have something to add to that, but I'm getting more feedback as the video is going.
Uh-oh.
Um, would you, if you are still watching, we've still got 20 people watching right now. Would you like to have that list that Amy just read off with all of these different things? Would you like to have that list so that you didn't have to go back here to the video and either listen to it again or look through the comments? Would you like to have that list? Because I was going to say, if you would like to put that list into the CBOB group, Amy, we could have a picture of that list over there and be able to provide that over there. So if you're not in CBOB, just put CBOB in the comments. I think that I saw a few people that I don't know for sure that are in there, and we could have that list. So yeah, Nilda says yes, the list, and Connie, yep. Edith says lists are good. Lists are good. We like that. So I was thinking about what it was that you were just talking about. Oh, the Happy Meal. Okay. So get ready to write these things down because these are the things that I have learned about sending things, and we'll just kind of finish off with this. Um, to send out a piece of mail that does not require anything more than one stamp, and this can be international stamps too, because it's not that, it's like $1.25 maybe for an international stamp. I'll send something internationally if, it's going to encourage them to come back and watch my videos and, potentially become a customer, whatever it is. That's really not that much either. So here are the guidelines to make sure that you can only use one stamp that I've learned. It has to be smaller than 4x6. So you can use those 4x6 envelopes that you can get more stuff in. Has to be 4x6. It cannot have anything that is not flexible. So you can't send a gift card. That would cost more than one stamp. They call it machinable, I think, at my post office. So it has to be machinable. So a gift card will not go through the machine. So it has to be flexible. That means that you cannot use the 4x6 envelopes that have the metal clasps, even if even if the things that are in the envelope are flexible, if it has the metal on there, then you can't send it through the machine. So the thickness is 1/4 of an inch. So it can't be thicker than 1/4 of an inch. You can really pack a lot of stuff. So they have a little, if you take it to the post office, they have a little slit thing, and they'll stick it in there to see if it's like
Yeah.
that same thickness. So I've sent quite a lot of things in a 4x6 envelope with no metal clasp, as long as it's thinner than a quarter of an inch for one stamp. You can get a lot of interest for people showing up, especially if if you have your envelopes and you take a picture of like your envelopes that you're going to send out for Happy Mail. People love the Happy Mail if you kind of show maybe a preview of like what's in there. And I think that was one of the reasons why I had so many people show up to that celebration video. And the very first one, I got more people than the second, or I think that I did one for my third year. I don't remember, but yeah. So Marion just typed up all of the guidelines there for one stamp. So whatever,
Thanks,
I don't even know what
Marion.
a first class stamp is. At 58 cents or 65. I don't even know what it is right now. So yeah. So, well, Amy, is there anything else that you wanted to mention about having people show up live, or?
I don't think so. Just make sure you got a smile on your face. You don't have to smile all the time and make your cheeks sore, but just have a smile on your face, have a good time. And even if there's 0 viewers, just keep going. Just have a good time. Because we did touch on the recording / replay as well. So just go for it. I think this was a great coffee chat today. We had, we came up with so many ideas, 10, and then Jamie, you came up with 2 more bonus ideas, plus a third bonus with Happy Mail. And thanks for writing that out, Marion. So now, I think I'm good. And yeah, Diana has a good point where she says, I have my peeps show what they got, because that is another thing that will kind of pump up the excitement and get people to be like, oh, I want to check out next time she's live, see what's happening. So
yeah. Very good. Oh, Sherry says lots of great info. So very good. So our next one is in 2 weeks. But let me look at that because I'm traveling in July and I'm trying to think if that week is when I'll be traveling. So let me look. 1, 2. Nope, it's the following week. So I think I'm good for.
What day is it?
July 14th. Is that right? Yes. Yeah, so I will be here. And it'll be on Amy's page. We have not thought of the topic. So if you have ideas of a topic that you would like for us to talk about and, related to business, creative business, and things like that. I know tech is always a big one, and just engagement and, different things like that are always big topics. So if you have any ideas for topics, you can put those in the comments here. And then I would just like to mention, because Tuesday is July 4th. So if you are in the US and you're celebrating July 4th, just be safe and have fun and enjoy your July 4th. So, yep. Very good. All right. So bye, everybody. Hope this was helpful for you today.
Bye. Thanks for watching.